Good evening, fellow ghouls. Tonight's story is a cautionary tale to be mindful of what lies beneath the surface. Who knows what exists in the unseen places of the world? This little tale, titled Hair, could give a little insight as to one thing that may be lurking just beneath the surface. Perhaps even in your very home. Dim the lights and listen as we begin. The strand of hair was there for months. Originally, back when I first moved into the apartment, I thought it to be simply stuck to the wall. However, upon further inspection, I quickly realized that it was actually stuck inside of the wall. It emerged from a tiny nick in the wallpaper, like the leg of some unholy insect, horrifying in its simplicity. Every time I passed it, I would stare at it as if it might slither out from its crevice and come for me. It seemed to mock me from its vantage point, just a little bit too high for me to make a casual swipe at it and pull it from its perch. I hated it, and I guess I feared it a little bit too. We lived like that for months, that hair and I. For a while I attempted to ignore it, but every time I passed it, I couldn't not see it, so I was forced to change my tactics. I tried to make myself view it as some sort of an unlikely roommate, but that had only made it feel like something more permanent, like this single strand of hair was somehow winning at whatever silent challenge we were so forcibly engaged in. I guess that's why I decided to pull on the hair. One day I just walked into the room, dragged the coffee table over, and clambered onto the elevated surface. Before I could stop myself, I seized the end of the hair between my thumb and my forefinger, and I pulled, and pulled, and pulled. It just didn't stop coming. Even as I continued to yank it from the tiny tear in the wallpaper, hand over hand. To this day, I don't know if there was an end to it. And if there was an end, I didn't want to think about what it may have been attached to. By all logic, I should have stopped there. I should have gotten some scissors, clipped the already unfathomably long strand of hair where it was, flush against the wall, and thrown that terrible thing into the trash. But I didn't. I couldn't. This hair had caused me so much grief, and I wasn't about to let it win. So I began to pick at the wallpaper. At first it came off in small little edges, but then it separated in strips, and came screaming off of the wall like skin. And underneath, dear God, underneath, hair, not just one strand, but thousands of them, all bunched together like great braided veins, coursing against the wall in a strangling embrace. Maybe it was just the sheer panic, but I could have sworn that those wiry vessels were pulsing slightly, as if they were breathing, as if they were alive. Moving out after that was a blur, and I don't remember much of what happened next. But I'll tell you one thing. I'll never live in an apartment with wallpaper ever again. Thank you for listening to tonight's scary story. Please, if you enjoyed this, click like and subscribe, and be sure to turn on notifications, as I will be uploading more scary stories soon. Sleep tight, fellow ghouls, and fear not the darkness. Until next time.